You find yourselves just east of Evening Star, outside Mineral Springs, where there is orange jelly seeping into the water. 4 bodies are here, slain by your hands. The party gains 1,600 experience. In the air, little scraps of oily paper are falling like snow. Sporgle. Your shortbow feels trusty. You even have a sense that you were holding back a bit. How many fingers do you have on each hand, Sporgle? Let us take a moment and check before you answer. Something about all of this reminds you of a dream that you had once. A Valkyrie-like figure in red plate mail, a legendary tactician, a deity here on the Prime, assessing and measuring you. It all seems so familiar and yet so far away. Your mind plays funny tricks on you here in this place, Sporgle. What does it mean that you are 65% of outgoing damage? The Red Knight seems to know. 7.3 DPR? What are these strange glyphs and ideas? Is this a religion in and of itself, Sporgle? Back in the plane in which you originated before you were ejected here onto the Prime, you picked up a funny little turn of phrase. To ball. To be as a round boulder in the maze, crushing everything before you. You were not adding your dexterity bonus to your damage rolls. You were holding back, and yet you balled, crushing flaming fist reconnaissance agents like pillbugs. Crunch. Perhaps you have 3 fingers on each hand, Sporgle. There are only 3, so they have had to become stronger. You could treat any weapon like it has the versatile property. Or perhaps you have 5 fingers on each hand, a different interpretation of a goblin. Around here they would call that a humanoid. You think that perhaps it is more correct to say that everything on this plane looks like a badly warped goblinoid. It is a good thing that you are so polite about it. With 5 limber dexterous fingers, you could get around easier. You could treat partial cover as concealment for the purposes of sneak attack. So tell me, Sporgle, how many fingers do you have? 5 fingers. Noted. Rain Danavir, ashen paper falls like snow on your shoulders. There are recognizable bits in there. And you wish that you did not have to interpret the world as verse. Desperate we are for just a little prose, please. Just a simple narrative. Your older brother is still alive, and you write to him often. That would be a nice idea. That is the sort of idea that you have access to when your life comes in sentences. But no. Scraps of paper like snow and bad fucking poetry. Chopped verse. Fuck this. But here it is. A piece of paper floats past you, still smoldering a little, and you cannot stop yourself from going for it. Shar. Pure water. Lainey Lochlaren, Ph.D. Mithril, mined in Garden Reach. Laird St. Cyr. Shar. The central barracks of the Flaming Fist employs these techniques. Overthrown 5 years ago. Shar. Aboleth discharges in detectable quantities. Nitrogen fertilizers. Shar. Shadows can be dispelled. Evening Star. The ephemera singes your fingertips and you allow the wind to carry the still warm paper away. Until the Lochlaren, your brother, makes eye contact with you. His eyes are the same color as yours, the same color as your mom's, the cool sky. He has always been a bit of a dullard, a fool, a gallant idiot, but this is why we have formative experiences, Tilda. They shape us. And your brother's foolishness seems transformed from a foolish upstart to a stubborn knight. And he stands there, his brow quivering. He looks down at the shield in his hand. Where did the Paladin of the Dawn go? Till, what are we doing? And Yosan lowers their gaze at you, Noe, and you see their right arm has been thrashed with acid from the ochre jellies, and they look at you. We need to find our father, Noe, now. And Julianne, you know that your clinic is close. Dare you go alone? Noe, Sporgle, Rain, Julianne, and Tilda. Roll initiative and plan your next moves carefully. Should you split the party, prepare those arrangements. I need a moment before I meet with Kaysen of Lathander.
Am I getting blood? I'll be honest. Testing. Someone else say something for me.
Hello?
Thank
Test.
you. Kaysen of Lathander, you find yourself in a precarious situation. Your brain, ever the adversary, has concocted a situation in which you are now alone with someone very dangerous. You have a sense that despite the many situations that Erlen Thana imagined he would find himself in this morning, this was likely not one of them. The captain of the Griffin Riders of the Elves of the West seems to be, for now, at your mercy. Your blood is on his lips, and your thumb is bleeding badly from where he bit you. His ribs have a large, crescent-shaped contusion, and blood weeps from his right eyebrow, where a thin, irregular channel of his flesh is missing. Bits of crushed pine needles are peeking down from the end of the wound. Taking a moment to pause from the fatigue, you heft him down against the tree trunk. His eyes have an intense, dangerous gaze as he stares back at you. And Kaysen, we will be with you in one moment. May I get those initiatives?
Tilda has a 19.
Bane with a 7.
Sporgle at an 11.
Usually end with a 5.
Nalia has a 14.
Thank you. Kaysen of Lathander. Your captive stares at you.
Okay. I think I need a break. Honestly, I think I just need to stop for a minute. I am not thinking clearly. I haven't eaten. And I need to sit down. And you don't look too good either. May I take your armor off? I'm sorry, it's not, doesn't look like it's salvageable.
Erlen looks down at the tangle of leather that would be the insides of his breastplate. His mind reaches out to yours, and he continues to talk to you, using the psionic link between both of you. It's useless now. If you want to take it, you can. That's what you want to talk about? My armor?
I wanted to make sure it wasn't digging into you. And also, you'd be easier to carry without it. Probably more comfortable, too. And he will slowly begin removing Erlen's armor, being careful to try to do it in a way that isn't going to make anything worse. And he will also just sort of look over his condition as he's doing that. I am definitely going to sit down for a couple minutes and just. I need to get my head on straight. Are you still able to eat, like, regular food?
Only for the pleasure. Food still tastes good if that's what you're asking.
Thank
But if you really want to feed me, I think at this point you know exactly what I need.
Yeah, I mean,
You. He
got
pauses.
some this here. Somewhere in here. This one's okay. Somewhere. And as he's rummaging, unfortunately, as fate would design, look at that, the tone's right on top. Huh. Okay, thought I had slightly more than this. Well, okay, I guess that'll do. I'm not good at this. I don't have any plans to interrogate you or anything, but maybe I could just ask a couple questions, and if you don't like the question, you can just skip. No big deal.
Here's a question for you. If you didn't wish to interrogate me, why did you throw me off of something 50 feet in the air? What were you thinking? Why? Why am I here if not to interrogate me? You feel him probing your mind.
Because it was a spur of the moment decision, and I thought if I had someone important and captured them, that it would be a little incentive for the elves to stop attacking us, because I finally found people that I give a shit about, and I don't want them to get hurt anymore. So that's why. And I know you have people that you give a shit about, and I would like you to get back to them in one piece, much as I can't stand you. I will be returning you alive. And I didn't capture you to interrogate you. I just wanted a bit of a shield, I guess. So, first question, I guess.
Before you have a chance to ask your first question, we actually find your shield. Back with Ran and Tilda at the top of the order with a 19.
I have no idea where that paladin is. I'm sure we'll see him along the way. Or we won't.
No, it's fine. We told him to meet us at my father's house.
We should go there, and then we're going to go straight to town, yes?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want... Apparently it's really dangerous right now to be anywhere. We all need to stick together. Do we all agree? I can't cast sending. I can't find people if they run away or if they're gone, and you all need to stay close.
I think Noe reaches out and takes Tilda's hand in hers.
Thanks, No Way. We just all have to be a united front here.
Yes, well, that's all good and dandy, but I need to get to my lab. I don't think you realize how short on supplies I am.
Is that something you can safely do? How far is it from my father's house?
Oh, 10-minute walk. Skip over the river, I suppose.
All
Not too
right.
far.
Will you accompany us there until we can make some sense of what I suppose, the mood, the condition of the town is. My only concern sending you off alone is. And she sort of looks back at the corpses of the flaming fists.
Or what? That I will be a corpse of a flaming fist, or that I'll make more?
She sort of has to think about that for a second. Like, the latter did not occur to her. And she says, I'm just concerned for your safety.
I appreciate it, dear. I really do, but it is imperative that I have something. Because otherwise, if we go to the manor and there's already trouble there, I am ill-equipped for anything. And Rain needs things too. It should
200 pounds of saltpeter delivered directly to the northeast by preferably cart. Yes. At this point, we're also in a. He'll flip his hand through the air through what is presumably still a mist of burning paper. We'll also find ourselves in an active war zone.
Yes, and my lab has supplies we can use to survive an active war zone. Potions, other medical equipment, weapons, ingredients.
Your stockpile of weapons there now, too.
The ones I travel with? You think I'm going to travel around town with an arsenal? No. I was just doing my errands the past day and then got caught up in this.
I will whisper to Noe, I can't handle her stress right now.
Someone needs to
Noe
go with you.
nods and says, alright, so Ren and Julian perhaps can split off, check out your lab, get the required things that you need, and then come.
And not
My
leave an
father's
adult
house?
with the kids?
Well, it's not so much that, it's someone with medical proficiencies.
Yes, we need to... Yes, you and I need to stay with everybody, to some extent.
Well, we are going to my father's place first.
We decide from there.
Alright.
Fine, but I will not wait around long.
And then Noe turns to Sporgle. Sort of an evaluating, like, how are you doing?
Sporgle is playing with his little crossbow that he got.
Oh, it was you. I see. Thank you for what you did to protect my brother.
Sporgle nods. Sporgle help.
Alright. You'll come with us then.
Ugh.
Okay.
Now that everything is a bit calmed down, while we move and talk, can someone please let me know how all of this even happened?
And I think
Your guess is 9.
let us hop over to Kaysen and Erlen. I believe you were about to ask your captive an initial question.
Okay. Let's start with something easy, low stakes. What's your bird's name? And he will slide a pear slice over, and Erlen's wrists are kind of bound with like a really shitty knot like you would use to hitch a boat, so Erlen could theoretically grab it with his own hands, so Kaysen will like give him the option of, okay, if you can physically move your hands, take it yourself, or he will give it to him and like feed him the blood-soaked pear slice.
You do so. Why do you want to know my bird's name? What relevance could that possibly have for this situation? You take me captive. These are the questions you ask me?
It's a freebie. You basically got free blood. You don't lose anything by answering. I spun your bird and I threatened to burn its wings off and turn it into a chicken wing, and if I see it again, I would like to apologize using its name.
Next question.
Well, okay. This
And
one is
another piece of pear, please.
bleed me dry, why don't you? Okay, this one's a long shot. Have you happened to see a human, probably lost, probably by themselves, maybe 40s or 50s, kind of dusty brown hair, has a beard, name's Andre. I don't know. Have you seen any humans up here that look like they're lost?
All humans look essentially alike to me within reason. I'm sure whichever one you're talking about is no exception. And Cason of Lathander, I find it disappointing that you continue to concern yourself with human affairs. Do you not see? This is why you took me from the sky to ask me my bird's name and ask me about little humans walking around on this giant continent that will one day be ours?
Humans tend to be less disappointed in me than elves are. But yes, I am not interrogating you or forcing any answers out of you. I basically, look, okay, I have a bleeding heart. I'm not great at this whole taking people captive thing. So this is kind of just an excuse for me to patch you up because I feel a little bit bad right now.
Your misplaced sense of sympathy will be your undoing.
This is not the first time I've heard this, and I'm sure it won't be the last. It's already gotten me to where I am in life now. Okay. Since I'm not understanding all of this, are you talking in my mind, or am I reading your mind, or both?
Imagine a little tendril. I am reaching out from here towards you and touching your mind. And this capability can be yours as well. Do you not see what is happening here? I am part of something much larger. Not just... Go ahead, Cason of Lathander. You can rebut me instantly in your own mind.
Is it a coincidence that you are not the first person I've met in the last 24 hours that can do this?
His mind engulfs yours with the thoughts of course it is not a coincidence. And we will come back to this conversation. The party.
So Rain asked what happened, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
And
What was it? Did you swing first?
Sporgle pipes up, "Oh, bad lady. She..." And he, with the weapon that he just shot him, he points at Josan. It's unloaded, but he points it at him. "She gonna shoot, but." And then Sporgle like wraps around him and uses him like cover. "Sporgle first. Sporgle fast. Sporgle help."
So we did shoot first, but I'll give you this one. It sounds like you made the right decision. Why did they want you? He'll direct that towards Yosin.
Yeah, why did the fist attack us?
I don't think they were looking for me. I think they were looking for our father.
Then all the more pressing we go to your house.
He was holding this, and she holds up the little pin cylinder.
May I?
Mercy.
She hands it to Joseph.
They inspect it. Their fingers trace over the lettering. This is our father's design. Some arcane device. Have you seen this before? I'm not so sure.
An activator of some kind? I have seen him hand similar things to his clients, but I never thought to ask what they were used for. I assumed it was some sort of...
An attuner, a dampener.
It's to get some things straight here. I'm not the most personable with your father. But it does seem that he was, at the very least, entwined with the fist, yes? Helm included. I'll point over his shoulder towards the cave.
Well, we had a great relationship with the Flaming Fist before.
I think that much has soured.
The
Well,
relationship with the Flaming Fist was merely circumstantial at best.
Perhaps opportunistic. Commercial, as I always interpreted it, Julian. An exchange of goods and services.
Yosef, can I see that cylinder real quick?
They hand it to you.
Continue, Ren. Sorry.
So they come in, extend their helping hand of taxes and institutionalizing their defense here in the last couple of years, yeah? Perhaps your father didn't see that as the most amicable circumstance, perhaps even making sure that they were not doing things of ill. And perhaps keeping too much of an eye on those that have the wherewithal to, I don't know, notice that someone's looking at them. They come searching for the man. Perhaps at a bad time, all things considered, but...
well, let me get one thing clear. It was not my father who killed Elias Kidd.
I don't think it was. I'm pretty sure those were the owlbears, along with the elves, and the rest of the fist behind us.
Yes, and it was my hope that the Flaming Fist, with all of their martial prowess, would be able to help us with this matter with the elves.
Ran holds his arms out. Why aren't we going there right now?
Sorry,
Great
I imagine
question.
this question was while we were walking towards the house.
Tilds, I mean, you...
I agree.
He dares
We
not
should
repeat
go.
it. Go ahead and move your tokens. I think we're moving the party as one group of initiative right now. Go ahead and move yourselves to a reasonable location that you think you ended this conversation at. I think we've meandered perhaps. Yes, I would agree. No way, St. Cyr.
I'd like to make an Arcana roll on this cylinder in the
I'd
background.
be honored to interpret that. What did you roll?
28, nat 20.
A nat 20. A 28. Tilda Lochlaren, you study this cylinder. This is, you are almost completely sure that you understand all of the different properties of this item. This is an arcane attuner. This allows Laird to center spells on the bearer of this item. For example, this would allow Laird to cast a spell remotely affecting the bearer of this item. It may allow him to intensify the effects of a spell. Regardless, it is something that Laird uses as a way to connect to someone using arcane means. You sense immediate utility, invisibility, haste, message. This could be used in any number of ways, and as you hold on to it, you wonder if anyone is on the other end, so to speak.
Do I think this thing is two-directional? Or is it more like a diode, just an output device? You know what? I'm just going to try. I'm just going to shove a message spell through.
You do so. Go ahead.
It's Tilda. Trouble with the fist? Please respond. We need you.
You send this message and attempt to direct it through the Arcana Tuner. We find ourselves in the forest with Kaysen of Lathander and Erlen Thana. Kaysen, you can feel something. Erlen is worming around your head, accessing things, searching, looking.
Kaysen doesn't have a great deal of secrets. At this point, it's mostly just things that he feels like, if they were known, would affect other people. So the only things that he's going to sort of keep in a locked cabinet are pretty much the owl bear incident and the contents of his little red book, and everything else, as he's feeling Erlen kind of walking around in there, he's going to sort of drop his resistances and just kind of open the doors.
You do so. And you feel him kicking down the bulkheads in your brain. He accesses information. He learns your name. He learns things about you. He thrashes around.
Ah, that feels weird and itchy when you do that.
He seems satisfied with what he's found.
How long does it take to get used to that? Oh, God, it feels weird.
That's why you need to be on this side of it, Kaysen of Lathander.
Why would I want to read people's minds?
Why would you want to read people's minds? That is your question?
No, I mean, that was just like... No, I'm just kind of thinking out loud. Like, I don't know, if someone doesn't want to tell me something they don't want to tell me. I don't think I'd want to be in other people's minds. I feel like I'd see weird stuff in there. More questions, more questions. Kind of running out of pear slices down here. I am feeling very just lost and out of my league here. I literally only got here yesterday. I have no idea what's going on. I am sort of just doing things in the heat of the moment, and I feel like I needed to just take a minute and just slow down. I almost took a different oath last night than the one I'd always thought of. Okay, I know this is more than land. You told me as much last night, and I know you're not going to tell me the details of anything, but you can answer cryptically, you can answer not at all, but what does it take for all of this to stop? And he'll give him the last pear slice.
What does it take for all of this to stop? It has just started, Kaysen. On the surface level here, things may stop today, but what has started below the surface will not. Alcinerat is bringing an entire country here. Do you know what they're looking for? They're looking to the southwest of Evening Star. There is an old town, Isharen, ancient and elven, here from before the Dale Reckoning. They're only moving through here. They don't really care about you or me. But I know that there is something more here. Alcinerat is wrong. It is not in the ruins of Isharen. It is here in Evening Star. And it is the same thing that allows me to walk freely in the sun. It is the same thing that keeps the river clear. It is the same reason that Drow priestess is casting spell after spell after spell after spell. And it has nothing to do with the ruins. It is something right here. And we go back to the party. Walking south on the road.
So I have a question for Loons. What spells would you say I could expect for Tilda to have in that book of hers?
Well, I would assume I've mostly seen mundane spells, mostly divination. I would assume there's at least message. I saw disintegrate happen. I doubt you're going to be able to figure that one out. Augury, I would assume.
What about cantrips?
Most cantrips don't have full spell verbality, so I doubt I have any cantrips in there.
Okay. Just thought I'd ask. Sporgle will hand Tilda's book back to her.
I will say thank you. I'm a little bit engrossed with my little toy right now.
It is engrossing, and you feel like you fully understand this thing. But how does it fit in, Tilda?
How does it fit in? But why? I mean, I could see why they were paying him, but why does he get so tired after casting spells? Do you know? No way. Do you know why he's so tired after casting spells? He ever told you?
He's sick.
Yosan turns to you, Tilda, looking vexed, and they say, he has a disease. It has nothing to do with spellcasting. It's a disorder of the nervous system. Can't you?
No, I know that. But he made this cylinder. You know, this is just a magic amplifier. I hope he heard me. I sent a message to him.
I hope he's alright.
Me too. Tilda will take a hitch step and move faster.
Let's hope this little toy of yours doesn't work both ways.
Ran sheaths his sword to pick up the pace with you. As, why are we talking so much about Laird? What about our mother?
What about your mother?
Rand
I
turns.
think she looks over to them with concern.
I will point upward. We heard the fist say some command word. It sounded like a fire word. And now we're getting rained on by paper. You heard the explosion.
There aren't many places in all of Evening Star that would have enough books to light the sky up with either, are there?
Unless it was my lab. Or the St. Cyr Manor.
Juliana, I don't think you're that important. That they would blow up your lab.
No, but you're saying there's so much paper in the air, yes? Do you have a lot of paper?
There's only one way to find out.
Pick up your pace.
Let's go.
Back in the forest, Kaysen of Lathander, Erlin glowers at you. His eyes are intense. He has just told you essentially anything you could want to know. And he gives you one last question to you in this reverse interrogation that you have found yourself in. His eyes lock onto yours, and he silently says to you, "Let me bite you. You want this gift, don't you? I already bit your thumb. I won't give you anything that you don't want, but you want this. You can say, why would I want to be in people's mind? But you know the answer to that question. Give me your neck. 5 seconds, and it's over.
Was
Your,
just about to
your
say
life will flourish."
I was just about to say I was going to give you some manner of thank you for the surprising amount of detail that you just gave me. I'm a servant of the Morning Lord. I don't want whatever comes with it. But you look like shit, so I will give you something. And he will sort of press his thumb into his mug, and instead of offering his neck to bite, he's just going to sort of pass over a gruesome little cup of blood.
He holds up his bindings. They're loose enough to allow him to move his hands around, I believe, but you may need to unbind him should you wish him to hold a cup. He holds them up towards you.
Okay, I'm not that stupid, and he's just going to sort of tip it up to Erlen's mouth. Stupid, but not that stupid. No, I understand in some sense that it's something that has to be given to someone, and I suppose it makes someone powerful, so thanks, but no thanks.
We find ourselves back with the party. Noe out in front, I see.
Yes, I think she wants to scope the river as they approach, looking at the quality, I guess, of the boat that they used to cross the previous night.
From what you can tell, taking a brief survey of a riverbank that you have seen countless times, no way, this is just across the river from your house, the little jackboat seems secure and intact. The rear of your house also seems perfectly normal. Nothing seems out of place at all. From past your house, you can see a thin plume of black smoke rising into the air to the west. The northern bridge, which you can also see from this angle, looks bare. There's no one crossing it from what you can tell. And from in Evening Star to the southwest, you can see figures, movement, and you think you saw another Griffin rider somewhere to the southwest, just over the horizon, perhaps in the canopy of the trees. But here, on the back side of your house, things seem relatively quiet, from what you can tell.
Okay. I think she will also, as she conveys to the others, it seems safe right now. We're not, at least we'll be able to cross the river without any impediment. I think just recalling something strange, she might turn back to Ren and Joseon and say, "Was Rick supposed to come with the two of you? Did you see him?"
They look between each other. Your brother answers first. I think he's looking for his dad, isn't he? Didn't he meet up with his father? Ran shrugs at him, looking past a bush and readying his longsword again.
I think satisfied with that answer, she gestures to the others to figure out how they're gonna do this one fox, one chicken, one sack of grain puzzle with the boat this time.
I think we can fit, 2, 3 aboard? Just as fast as you can go. Try not to break the rope.
3 per ride, but somebody has to stay on to bring it back. So somebody has to be the ferryman.
I'll do it. Let's go.
You quickly run through different configurations. It's easy to get people across. It just takes time. One moment. All right, I'm sorry, Sporgle, am I getting ahead of you? I see you're still up here on the ramp down. Anything you're studying, doing? Got it.
Nope, I just fell behind.
Okay, one moment. Arrange yourself as you see fit on this side of the jackboat crossing. It seems quiet here, Noe.
There's a back entrance into the house, right?
That's exactly right. And it looks like that's what Yusan is going for. As everyone looks around and gets their bearings here on the plateau, it looks like they are already going for the back door. Ran looks over at you, Tilda, from nearly 20 feet away at this point and says, Tilda, where are you going? Aren't we going home?
We have to stay together. We have no choice.
Why? Why are we going here? 2 minutes ago, you said our mom just got killed. Why are we sneaking into their house?
I will take one step off the banister and close the distance to him.
He walks over to you. In this moment, he seems tall.
I'll get very close to him and said, Rand, what do you want me to do?
What are we doing? Why are we following Noe around?
There are elves. There are flaming fist people. There's all kinds of shit out here, Rand. We can't face it alone. I know you want to charge headlong into this, but we have no choice. We have no choice.
Then we have to go there next. We have to go there soon. I don't know. I was supposed to stay there with her, and I came here for you. I was supposed to bring you back to her. Not you back to Laird.
You didn't tell me that. What did she say?
He bites his lip as if he's potentially hiding something. Come on. Let's just go.
I'll shake his armor a bit. Rand, what did she say?
It doesn't matter right now, Tilda, okay? If you wanna follow the St. Cyrs around, let's do that. We can talk about this afterwards. If Mom is really dead, it doesn't matter anyway.
Stop being an asshole.
He pauses and shoves you away as you hold on to his armor.
Fuck you, Ran. I'll walk into the house.
You see Spur goes, fuck.
Rain will surreptitiously try to tug at Sporgle's little sleeve.
Rand stands there, mouth open. He looks too pissed and prideful to follow you, Tilda. He looks like he's considering his options. At the rear doorway there, Julienne, Noe, what do you find yourselves doing?
She's gonna unlock the door.
You do so.
Is she able to hear Ren and Tilda arguing behind her, or is it very sotto voce?
Probably only the last part.
The fuck you.
Yeah.
I concur.
I think she looks over, and just seeing their body language, she says, "My father should be able to tell us exactly what happened here. And then once we know what we're going into, we will get you to your mother, I promise."
See, we're going there next, okay? I don't see what the big fucking deal is. I will push past Noe, assuming the door's opened.
You do so. Anyone not going inside? Are you all going inside as a group? Anyone not participating in this? Okay.
Rain will tail briefly to scope out exactly what Rand's intentions are.
Currently, what an excellent question, Randy Navira. He is standing there and appears to be somewhat paralyzed by this breakdown in communication. You sense, no check required, that his youthful pride will probably not allow him to follow Tilda or Noe after the dressing down that he received. He's currently just standing there. His right hand is on the hilt of his sword. He looks like he's considering his options.
And dearest, not on her fucking birthday. She does need you. If by whatever prognostication she may have inherited from your mother, if she isn't dead, or if she is, Tilda needs you all the same. She needs you in there with her friend. Inside. Go.
He glares daggers at you, Rain, but reluctantly complies. You sense that you have overwhelmed. You did what needed to be done. And he follows you up the stairs, somewhat uncomfortably. One moment. Back in the forest, Kaysen of Lathander.
Wrap up his finger so it's not bleeding quite so much anymore.
You do so, stopping the flow of blood from your damaged thumb. Erlin's, he swallows and tastes your blood, seeming appreciative. His eyes bore into yours.
Yeah, glare at me all you want, but you're not gonna have to look at me for more than a couple minutes. Okay, I feel a little better, at least just from sitting down, but... Oh, damn, I gave you all my pear. I still didn't get to have breakfast. Okay, well, don't blame me if I'm cranky. Okay, we should probably get moving. I really don't like being away from the group. Okay. He's going to lean forward and sort of fix up the bindings a little bit, and realizing that he was in such a state that he tied like a little boat hitch, he's going to kind of try to tighten it and fix it as best he can without redoing it, and just make that a little bit better. Oh, okay, you're probably not super comfortable on my shoulder with my pauldrons on. And he'll leave on the one that Solarin painted, and then he will take off the other one, sort of tie it to his pack. And we'll gather his stuff back up and put his pack on. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I didn't really have any important questions. Just trying to pass the time while I'm resting, you know?
And yet you received important answers, Kaysen of Lathander. You feel him wrestling around in your mind.
And I will pass that on to people who are smarter and make better decisions than me. This will probably make you slightly more comfortable, and he's going to take his very gaudy, just absurdly bright wrap out of his pack and like put it over his shoulder and heft Erlen back over his shoulder again.
All of this, and I simply remain your captive.
Yep.
He lies limply over your shoulder. It'll take you a bit of time to negotiate the forest if you're trying to catch up to the party.
I will take a look around and very, very cautiously, let me grab our tokens. Very cautiously attempt to move closer to this open area, and just see if we encounter anyone or anything. But I'm going to, if I don't see anyone, attempt to go back towards the road. Assuming he's probably a little easier to carry now without the armor.
He is. His upper body is significantly lighter weight, and he rests easier on your shoulder now that he does not have the rigidity of the backplate of his chest plate. You move into the open air, and once again, the sunlight upon you makes you feel good, Kason.
First thing I'm going to do is look at the skies and see if there's any of the Griffin Riders nearby. If there's anyone around. Do we smell any vinegar? Do we hear any squelching?
Looking up at the sky, roll perception at disadvantage. You're very close to the tree line here. You can look around. Let's see if you can detect anything.
Oh, okay, that's not what. That is a nat 1.
You, looking up at the sky,
That's the sky.
one moment.
Kind of bright suns in my eyes. Look where this is going.
You see clear skies, the blue azure of this pleasant autumn sky. No threats, no danger. Just perfect blue skies forever, just for you, Kason of Lathander.
Oh, I'm rarely so lucky. Alright, well, assuming we don't see anything else, I'm going to keep going in a not very efficient line, just kind of hugging the tree line so that we could duck back in if needed.
Noted. Can we take a fiver?
I would like to wash my hand off.
Yes. Hey.
You can pay her. I don't know why I forgot in that scene to mention that I took his damn knife. Like, oh, where'd it come from?
You mean this?
Fuck.
Are we showing off knives? Oh, let me go get my good knife.
Matching knives,
I
matching
got a good knife. I'll be right back.
I tried very hard to. I took a picture of my bloody pair too.
Oh my god.
You
That's
didn't-
really good.
You didn't know I was going to do this, did you? Did you know? Did you infer?
Bree told me you bought pears. She snitched.
We showing off knives? This is my Damascus steel knife.
That's really cool. Is it bone handled?
Well, it's elk antler, but yeah.
Don't show no way.
Awesome. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get my cool one.
I think I've sent you pictures before. I don't remember.
I think you would show them off when you got them, yeah.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
got that
it
at
seems
the Ren
familiar.
Fair, didn't you?
Yeah, I got it from the blacksmith there. He made it. It was like was that like 3 years ago, I guess? I guess it's like 3 or 4 at this point. Because my ex was there when I bought it, so at least 3?
Something in that realm,
I
yeah.
always take camping with me. It's not like pretty or anything, but
You got a tactical knife?
it's fun.
Also,
Fun to have.
I have one of those around too.
I think the
Somewhere.
only knife I have within reach is like a set of Cuisinart, very bright, like Crayola colored knives.
Oh,
D&D has led me to props that I would never ever own in my life.
I
That's
think
the
it's
fun
the-
of it, isn't it?
I think it's the coolest fucking thing. I really appreciate it.
oh, you should see my closet. It's just full of LARP stuff. LARP cosplays and other cute clothes.
But this, I cannot believe I own anything in this fucking color. Thanks, Soul.
Safety
With a nice-
orange.
Oh, it's a good color!
That is a salmon grandma shawl. And I love it.
So my computer is not quite picking up the color well enough. It's basically Crayola orange.
Oh, is it?
It is. It is.
Oh.
I have a headcanon that Solrin is colorblind.
That
Whether or not this is
that's
true.
fascinating. Actually, I really like that.
He thought it was like a nice muted forest green.
Can
Oh, this
elves
looks
even
perfect.
be colorblind?
Yeah, they're just like dogs. We only see in sepia tones.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, they get the RGB.
It's just Rain's been talking about these orange flowers the whole time, and they're just fucking like purple or something.
Yeah. Just doesn't have that scale whatsoever.
Oh my god.
Oh, poor guy.
You guys are hanging Kason out to dry in Vern's chat, as he deserves. King of bad decisions.
It's just very funny.
Well,
He's
we're
like,
all
"Well, I'm not
convincing while you take your turn.
He's like, I'm not smart enough to make good decisions, so the bad ones I make should at least be fun.
Dude, you don't even have a chaperone to scold you. You get to make all the fun bad decisions.
Oh, he anticipates getting an ass whooping from at least 3 different directions when he gets to the Saints of your house.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
Hope everybody doesn't say anything, but Sporgle just like kicks Kason in the shin.
He was gonna try to like hide behind Sportle.
No, I wouldn't, but you can imagine her just saying, I'm not mad, just disappointed.
I'm anticipating an ass kicking at least from Julianne, Rain, and Ed.
I mean, you kept him bound. Rain was kind of on board with the prospect. No one died. If someone died, there would be much more terse word.
I'm assuming I should bring him in through the back. Probably.
Okay. Resuming, you find yourselves inside the first floor of Chateau Saint Cyr. Yosan pushes through you. He seems to know where he's going.
Just follow suit.
Yeah, Noe follows, assuming that they're going to the basement.
He's checking room by room.
The only places he ever is his lab and his bedroom. I don't know why he's so frantic.
They're shaking the door. It's locked. Turning around to see you right behind them, Tilda, Yosan says, "This is Father's office. It's never locked." They try it again, lowering their shoulder and pushing a bit.
I will kneel down and inspect the nature of the lock. Since this is not an outdoor door, I imagine there's no shield on the latch.
That's correct. This appears to be, in your simple estimation, Tilda, this appears to be a simple mechanical lock.
I will spend a moment looking for something, either like a pin or a card, so I can try and open the latch.
Noe would give her Tilda a hairpin if she asks.
I'm sure it would come up, but I don't know how much time we have. But I will start this.
These ideas converge. You look around the room for something suitable to jimmy the lock with. Yosan turns to you, Noe. Why would he lock it? What if it's locked for a reason?
For protection, maybe?
Exactly. Has someone been
No.
through here?
Well, we dropped off Ed here the night before, yeah? He went downstairs to go do something.
Right. Something for, you know, the last time, one more time, something like that.
This is all news to you that Ed can turn into an owlbear, yes? Like this is some grand reveal to everyone involved? As in he doesn't have a track record of doing these things.
I've never seen him do that.
I haven't
Did you
either,
say
but he
that
has a
for
track
Python?
record of being an asshole like an owl.
Yes, and if you were, I don't know, someone walking around town with the capacity to turn into a fucking owlbear, perhaps the greatest wizard in town might facilitate these things.
I think she turns to Ren with a very polite smile, and it's strange. She's like processing this and not really fully able to keep the insinuations all in her head. But she's like, "I'm sorry. What does this have to do with the lock?"
Yeah, and as far as the lock's concerned, I have no idea. There's a lot racing through my mind right now, and I'm trying to piece together the ins and outs of
Okay, so
fucking
yes, so
14 people.
the big picture is very concerning. I'm sure.
What? Sorry. What is this table that Rain is next to? What does it seem like its purpose is for?
This seems to have. Let me think of something analogous for Rain. This seems to be a variety of enchanting equipment. You imagine that this would be used for working with items, doing enchantments on items, people, spells.
So at the very least, there's probably tiny little tools like calipers or
Absolutely, yes.
hammers or the such.
There are calipers. There's a small hammer. Yes.
And by no means a locksmith, Tilda. I doubt you are either. However, I think this might do better than a hairpin. We'll flit around with a tiny little hammer.
While I'm fiddling with the door with whatever implement I find, I'll just say, Druid.
Druid?
Wizards don't shape change. Druids do.
Yes, I've met many that can. However, your father is quite adept. He makes the rounds, yes? As in, he's very prolific, he's very powerful. He's a man that can give someone a little toy and enchant them from afar. In terms of whether or not he's capable of allowing someone to do something for the last time, like, say, transfiguration, it's not so much that they're becoming an owlbear, perhaps he's making him into one.
I think she turns to Noe, Noe turns to Tilda with this. Your mentor's stress is really getting to me right now. And just says, I'm going to go find my mother. She might know where the spare key is. And she'll
yes.
turn and go clomping up the stairs.
Yes, the spare key does make much more sense than this, and Rain will hand Tilda the tiny little hammer.
I'll start working at it with the hammer. Let me know when a roll is required, but I'm going to be fiddling like I know what I'm doing.
You do so. You fiddle like you know what you're doing. At some point, Tilda, you may need to commit to this. For example, by using that hammer on the lock, or by sticking something in there that you might not be able to get out. You tell me when you fully commit and say you are going to attack this lock one way or the other, potentially through the use of strength or dexterity.
I will be trying to shim the lock if I can. You slide something by the pin, and the pins are usually angled, and you just creep the pin back into the lock. Trying to do that with like an elongated object.
This sounds like a good strategy. What's your shim? What do you imagine?
How robust is your hairpin, No Way?
It's made to look good. I don't know that it's very strong.
I will look for something else on the table. Something that looks like a card, perhaps. Something with that sort of structure and elasticity. And if I can't find it, let me know. But that's I don't know what I'll find, but that is my general strategy.
You find a long, thin piece of iron. You sense that this could be used to reinforce something like a book. It is roughly the size and shape of a card. You flex it in your hands. You can smell
This'll be it?
walnut oil on it. Let's try to shim the lock, Tilda. Dexterity at advantage, please. While you do so, No Way. You arrive upstairs. You can hear Yosan in your parents' room.
Yosan, have you seen Mother?
You hear them open a drawer. They call over their shoulder to you. No one's here. I think something's really wrong. I'm starting to get increasingly concerned.
Okay,
I
you
know
are
that-
looking for the key, right? Tilda's working on the lock downstairs. I'm sure there's an explanation for this.
Are you sure we can trust Tilda? Are you sure we can trust any of them? She's going at the lock? What if that door's supposed to be locked? What are we doing here? If Mom and Dad were here and they wanted us to find them, I think they would have left something for us. I think something's really not right.
Didn't he send you to come get me?
Yes. And he was here. And now he's not here. And it seems a little conspicuous.
Yes, and I think the only person who can tell us why or even what's going on really is going to be him. There's a point at which
Wait.
we have to stop letting our parents do everything for us.
No way.
What? She turns to look.
They're pointing out the window. Through the glass, you can see two things. One, there's soldiers in your front yard. Two, over their shoulders, there's a large fire burning at or around the Lochlaren residence. Yosan goes quiet. And we find ourselves northeast of Chateau Saint Cyr, with Cason of Lathander and his captive, Erlin Thana.
Keep slipping. Okay, we are still moving. I am looking around for things overhead, anything on the road. Also looking for anything in the trees. I'm still looking for Andre in what is beginning to seem like a tragically futile endeavor, but still looking for him as I walk around. Or anyone else missing.
It's hard to even know what to look for. What you see is a beautiful meadow. The trees here are tall. The woodlands seem well kept. Nothing like the area around the barge dock, where you saw a high degree of deforestation. A large overlook in front of you provides a bit of cover as you come around.
Is the overlook just like a rock that's kind of hanging over, or is it like a cave? Because I will walk around that somewhat carefully just in case something else is using it as cover from the other side.
You heft Erlin over your shoulder. This elf is getting heavy. The overlook looks to you like a pillar of granite. One small tree grows on the end. Something like a mountain lion would use this to survey the area. Or a gray house cat that's in over its head.
Oh, poor kitty.
Here on the tree line, you can use the shadows to deduce a little bit about how much time has passed, Cason of Lathander. You interpret the sun expertly. You think it must be getting closer and closer to noon.
Shit, I hope they're not getting into too much difficulties up there.
You fear that they are.
I'm assuming that explosion earlier was not anything to do with the elves. Doesn't seem like their style.
A reasonable interpretation, and one that comports with your knowledge of history and warfare in this region.
Yeah, he's just like saying that, sort of thinking out loud, not necessarily directly asking Erlin, but just thinking about it.
You think about it, and thus ask Erlin. He responds quickly. No, that wasn't us.
As much as it does irritate me, and it is really the only way to get on my nerves, I suppose I do somewhat appreciate the fact that you think that I am at all, I guess, worthy of being brought back into the fold, as you call it. There's not really much at all for me to go to because I was never in it anyways, but the fact that you keep bringing it up is confusing to me, if nothing else, but...
It is your birthright, Cason of Lathander. Look at yourself in the reflection of the Elenair as we approach, and tell me you don't deserve the things that I offer you.
Lost a token. Hold on. We'll go over to the river. Yeah, but you're speaking in very abstract terms. You know, elven society, living with elven populations. Okay. But it's still just gonna be me. I am too loud, too cocky. I am intolerable to elves. I'm too emotional. I'm too loud. I can maybe passably fit in with humans, but if I join the elves, there's nothing for me, and I know you can't understand that because you're looking from this view of power and birthright and all that, but it's still just me alone, and maybe I'm fooling myself because after all this is done, I only got here yesterday, right? After all this is over, I will probably just go back out on the road again, but if either way I end up alone, then why would I betray the people that I have found myself surprisingly caring about?
You articulate this, and he remains quiet in your head as you conclude your thought. We find ourselves back on the first floor of Chateau Saint Cyr. Tell me about your dexterity roll.
We felt uncertain on how to apply celebration from this morning. Does it apply to this roll?
Celebration, the ceremony?
Whatever ceremony, sorry.
Let me read the text one more time.
It's you added D4 to an ability check.
Yeah, this is yes, that is exactly the text. Yes, I agree that this is an ability check. This is not a skill check. If that was your question, so yes, it's a dexterity check. So should you choose to, you may. Tilda, this was your coming of age ceremony that you had in the cave, Mineral Springs, outside of the town that you grew up in, and you do feel a sense of newfound power within yourself. Should you wish to apply that to this right here, this picking of the lock, because you think that something is on the other side of the door?
Gotta open it. I will apply this.
Okay.
I got a 20.
On die or dirty?
Dirty.
You jam this piece of iron in there. There's a sense of irony as you realize you're probably using one of Laird's own devices against him. You pull on the doorknob, and it snaps open.
Maybe
The door-
locksmith really was your true calling.
The door, well oiled, opens without a creak. Inside, there is an interesting arcanery here. Strange devices like you've never seen before. The more you look, the more exotic it seems. A strange... Go ahead. You.
I will magpie eyes at the room, and over my shoulder I'll say, no way, we got it open.
There's
Distractedly.
no... Sorry, one moment. Let me call this no way. There's no way to be found over your shoulder. Instead, over your shoulder, expecting to find No Way Saint Cyr, you find Sporgle. Not quite the same.
Oh, yeah, sure. I will take the lay of the room and try and determine what's going on here. I feel like I'm in a nice little mystery at the moment.
This does seem a bit mysterious. You have lived in Evening Star your entire life, and you've seen any number of people drifting through seeking Laird's spellcasting prowess. This looks almost like a waiting room. In fact, it reminds you a bit of the waiting room at Julien's clinic. A blue orb on the table seems to be studying you.
I'll wave at the orb. Laird,
Sporgle,
we're here.
Sporgle, you can imagine everything in this room being instantly turned into piles upon piles of gold.
Sparkle jumps up on the desk and starts investigating.
You start investigating. Roll an
We'll
investigation
immediately
check.
pull him off the desk.
Oh,
all right.
Your investigation check is stopped in its tracks by Julien.
This isn't your property, little one.
Sparkle, help.
You can help by keeping your hands to yourself.
Mr. St. Cyr, we're upstairs, if you can hear us.
Rain.
Rain is watching Tilda talk into an orb, hopefully. He really doesn't want to break this daydream for her. He's going to go around the table, or at least try to surreptitiously sneak past. Is the staircase leading down obvious, or is it more recessed behind the counter? Could you have seen it going in?
It looks like a door, actually.
That's exactly right. Yes, there is a door occluding this. This is behind a door, but that door is unlocked. So you, upon your basic investigation, you find stairs leading downward.
He'll slowly push the door open and look down. Is it lit?
It is lit. There are 2 fresh torches in a sconce leading downward.
Tilda, I think it might be easier to just tell him in person that we're here. He'll gesture towards the staircase.
Right, let's get on with it. We don't have much time.
You feel like you're intruding, as he'll say, starting to go down the stairs.
We should find Noe and Yosan. This is weird.
No, I don't. He's my patient. This is just a wellness check. Nothing out of the ordinary, I suppose.
You're bad at
Lilith
lying.
insists.
I know.
This is Rain and Julianne going down the stairs. Is that correct?
Seems to be.
I'll follow. I'll shoot a look at Sporgle as I go down.
You shoot a look at Sporgle.
Orgle watch.
I'll make this face as I go down the stairs.
You make a judgmental face as you go down the stairs. Sporgle, this has little effect on you. One moment. We find ourselves upstairs in Chateau Saint Cyr. Noe, you follow Yosan's arm, who is pointing toward several things visible through the window that give you cause for concern. They go quiet and gesture for you to get down. They do the same, dropping to both knees and adopting an athletic stance.
Yes, Noe drops down along with them. I think still trying to get the lay of the land of the situation outside. Does it look like they're under siege?
It doesn't. You see a crowd gathering around something. There must be at least 24 soldiers out there wearing armor that is at this point recognizable to you.
Dozen elven soldiers? What are they surrounding?
Hard to say. It's being surrounded.
We should get a closer look.
Through the window or downstairs? I'm almost out of spells, by the way.
Okay, well, we have to use them very cleverly. We have the height advantage from up here. We'll have a better vantage point if we try to get to the window.
Should we just leave?
Go where?
Back where we came? Where would Dad go if he couldn't go here?
I suppose the spring, but that's the Flaming Fist found us there, and we just made a mess. They Scooby-Doo like peek over the windowsill.
Roll stealth at disadvantage. Yosan will do the same.
That was a nat 1.
What do you think your error would be? So you make a critical error. In what domain do you think that error might be? Do you think it might be something like you misjudge the perspective, or you're overly eager, or you...
I think it's probably subtle, and I think it comes from the fact that she has not had to be stealthy in her armor and using her polearm before. I think as she is like trying to stand up to peek over the sill, the angle of her halberd over her shoulder taps the glass and like scrapes up.
You do so, leaning forward with your nat 1. The tip of your halberd scrapes the window pane. You're lucky it doesn't break the window pane. Yosan from below you winces in pain, and from down below, you see several soldiers pointing up at your window. You can see what's being surrounded as they approach your front door. It's Ed Severino and Rick Severino.
Okay, I think she doesn't even have time to really figure anything else out about the situation. She's immediately going to try to get downstairs to intercept whatever soldiers are about to be at their front door.
You do so. One moment. We find ourselves on the bank of the Illinaire. Don't call it the Starwater. On the far side. Go ahead.
In his mind, he's purposely using as many human words for things as he can just to tick Erlen off.
You do so, continuing to infuriate your captive. As you approach, you see this little jackboat bobbing in the water. The sound of rushing water is all around you here in the valley. The air here is cool and damp.
I'm gonna give a quick look up and down the banks of the Starwater, and just make sure there's not anyone right around in this area, and then we're gonna book it.
You do so. One moment. Make a strength saving throw. You are starting to get exhausted. Erlen is not making this easy. You continue to infuriate him, and he retaliates the only way your captive can, by being unhelpful. He shifts his weight in ways that make him more difficult to carry. What was your strength saving throw?
Is that a D20 plus my strength saving throw bonus?
Yes. Well, and it's a D20 plus your strength modifier, plus 2 if you are proficient in strength saving throws, which as a paladin you are.
Oh, okay. So that would be a... Okay, so my roll plus 2 plus 2. Okay, dirty 20.
A dirty 20. You shoulder Erlen using strength that you did not know you had within yourself. He is aggravating, but you continue to carry him. You make your way... Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sort of treating this as kind of snoozing, like the exhaustion and pain for later. Like, I will be feeling this probably as soon as I put him down, and I will probably be quite out of commission after this, but I need to just... Like, I can see the manor in the distance. Like, I just need to press through, and I'm going to kind of slide the cotton on my finger down and be like, can you stop being difficult and just kind of swipe my bloody finger across his mouth, but try to move it before he can bite it again. If he does, he does.
You do so. You successfully withdraw your hand before the vampire is able to take another bite out of it. You taunt him with your blood as if he's a creature in a cage, and perhaps in this moment he is.
But he does give him a little snack. Just a small one.
We come back to Rain, Julienne, and Tilda.
All things considered, I didn't expect a cape.
This is true. You did not expect this. There's a lot of unexpected things happening here, Rain Dainavir. This small landing seems to also work as a wine cellar. You see a large keg in the corner and many bottles of wine. The air is cool and wet.
I mean, is that really so far-fetched? There's plenty of cliffs around here.
I just figured they had the money. It would be walled. I don't know.
Why wall it when you can just use what's already there?
I didn't think that St. Cyr is so pragmatic. Is this a staircase leading down, or is it the one we just came down?
That is a staircase leading further down. You can't see what's past it, although you see the glow of light.
Well, with no St. Cyr in tow, Julianne, do you know the way? We've been here.
You have never been here. You have been to Laird's house. You have been to the manor. You've been to the first floor and the second floor. You know that Laird's bedroom, where you have interacted with him in the past when he was sick, is on the second floor. And you've been on the first floor, where there are a variety of common rooms. But you've never been down here.
Fortunately, reindeer, I have not. This is also new to me. Generally, my checkups are contained to the house above.
Breaking new ground, then. Rain will just
Apparently.
turn down the next staircase.
You do so. You hear a voice, Rain. You hear someone say, Beck? Beck? Who is that? Who goes there?
Is this voice familiar to Rain at all?
It sounds like Laird.
Beck is his wife. I'll call out. It's Tilda and some other people.
The doctor's in, if you were.
Laird, it's Julianne.
No way, and Yosan are upstairs.
You are making your way down the stairs as you do this. I assume you are approaching.
All right.
Mr. St. Cyr, wait. What?
Back on the first floor, we find ourselves with Sporgle.
What the fuck? What I'm doing? What was that thing?
Sporgle, you find yourself watching.
Let's talk about this chest. Okay.
Let's
Sportle can smell that chest.
You have a good eye for these things. It seems locked. Roll investigation.
$18.
You notice the following characteristics of this chest, Sporgle. 1. Upon picking it up, you hear something heavy and metal clinking around inside. 2. It has a basic mechanical lock. The chest itself is made of oak.
Okay. Sporgle eyes the lock, and then he sniffs it, and then he blows inside of it, and then he takes out a lockpick from his thieves' tools, and he licks it, and then he sticks it in there,
Roll sleight of hand. And for any relevant bonuses, this is lockpicking related. If you have anything that affects that.
Ooh, that's only a 13.
13. You attempt to use the lockpick to manipulate the pins inside of this lock. You get one, then two, and then you can't get the third one. Your lockpick doesn't break, but you did not get it open.
Sporgle can't believe it.
You feel like you almost had it.
Yeah. How heavy is this chest?
You pick it up. It's almost as heavy as you. There's something very dense within. And Sporgle, as you pick up this chest, you hear something at the front door. You hear trun, trun, trun.
Sporgle is spooked and drops the chest.
You do so.
He waltzes over to hear. What can he hear from here?
You can hear... You hear the sound of an argument outside. Loud voices. Voices carrying over one another. One of them is in a language you don't think you've heard before. Through the windows, over the wall, you can see just the bits of pauldrons, helms. Looks like a gathering of people. They're at the front
races.
door.
He races towards the basement.
You do so. One moment. You arrive at the basement. Meanwhile, no way. You have already vaulted downstairs. It looks like you have talked to me. You have.
Yes, she has just barreled down the stairs to the front door.
Your front door is heavy, locked, and has arcane fortifications. You hear someone pounding on the other side. Yosan looks at you. What do we do?
I think that there's a moment where she meets his gaze, like completely perplexed, but then she takes a deep breath, sort of raises herself to her full height, and says, "I think we should see what they want." We are, in our parents' absences, the lord and lady of this house. And she'll go to open the door.
You open the door. Without a creak, your massive front door opens. You and Yosan attempt to strike the image of the lord and lady of the house as you stand shoulder to shoulder with your sibling to greet who might be there. You see a retinue of soldiers. Different faces, but all of them alike. They're all wood elves, all wearing similar, if not the same, green armor. At the center, you see Alcinerat. You know him from his reputation alone. He's old, wizened. His hair is graying. In many ways, he reminds you of your father. There's a moment of silence. You hear breathing. Over Alcinerat's shoulder, You hear Ed Severino yell something for you. He says, Noe, let them in. Elsinrat nods at you very wisely. This is over. Lady St. Cyr, hi.
Hello,
Calm.
I don't believe that we've met before.
Calm. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think Noe just says, and in response to him calling her, she says, "Hello, I don't believe we've met before. May I be introduced?"
He gives a small bow. You can call me Elsinrat of the West. I represent... He gestures behind him, where you can see that Rick and Ed are surrounded by a number of soldiers. Let me update the map here. 1 second.
Okay.
I need to put some pep in my step when it's my turn.
If I may, let's see. To give you perspective, I'm going to swap maps. Instead of trying to put everything on a single map here, I want to show you what you see behind you. Okay, is that helpful? I think. There is a group of elves in armor, soldiers, surrounding Rick and Ed. Elsinrat is at the front. He's wearing a golden robe. And as he gestures to these elves, he says, I represent everyone you've seen here today. And I want to come back to this, if that's okay. In the basement, we have Sporgle arriving, running downstairs as this is happening upstairs.
I think you can hear him coming frantically down the stairs.
You clamber down the stairs. With each footfall, it echoes through the cave.
Well, now, Laird, I knew you were a tinkerer, but this is a bit ridiculous.
Mr. St. Cyr, did you hear the explosion?
He's breathing heavily. Could we take a $5 and potentially maybe, here's my thoughts. I'd like to kind of do a little bit of rewriting here because none of this really shook out exactly like I wanted. So like I can't use a lot of stuff. So I think just to give you some behind the curtain, I think I'd like to cut the session here and pick up, and I think it'll feel a lot smoother. And,
Sure, whatever you need.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing toys with us as we Godzilla over your intricately designed gardens.
No,
Where
not
did
at
we
all.
go wrong?
No,
Right.
there's certainly no wrong.
Well, I'm so curious where we diverged.
Not
She was
going
not
to the
supposed
lab.
to open the door. She was not supposed to open the door.
Ah,
It's okay. It's
that
not.
makes sense. I saw your face when that happened.
Love it. Yeah, let's reconvene.
Love it too. Yes,
10 out of 10.
I would rather reconvene than go through the entrails with you. So yes, thank you so much for the session. We're not playing next week for the holiday, but we are playing the week afterwards. Everyone can make it. Okay.
It's too bad everyone is in the basement and there's no guard because I'd love to go up to the door and be like, "Hi, can someone help?"
Yeah, with your hostage.
Yeah, you guys are at the
You're-
front
you're
door in
responsible
full
for
view of everyone, and I need more than one knife at this guy's neck right now, just for optics.
When I was in college playing D&D, my DM at the time gave out like we were in hell, we were facing a devil, and with Baylor, and the Baylor was like, "Work for me, or I'll kill you." And we all looked at each other. We're like, "Okay, we'll work for you." And the DM was like, I need 2 hours." So like we went out, got drinks, got food, came back, and he's like, "Okay."
Yes, I sort of need to take 2+ hours to update
Of course.
all of my priors and just sort
It's
of
too bad we can't-
reconfigure what?
It's too bad we can't just come back after a long break.
It would be a really long break. No, let's give him time.
Yeah, are there any eligible elves that can get married?
Oh my god.
Well, thank you for the session.
Thank you for hosting.
I will see everybody soon.
Thank you. I'm gonna try to get this stain off my hand.